Hello, hello. This is the My Artifact episode number 3348. Today's date is 4th of March 2025. It's been almost like a night at 9:51 p.m. Okay, yeah. Um, so there is some sort of thing is actually happened today. Um, okay, let's talk from the beginning. Okay, yeah. In 2015, I like basically this thing na ki, the things that you are actually hearing in this YouTube platform, it's called Artifact episode. Okay, yeah. I started this kind of like a this is kind of like a something episode is regarding about me. Okay, regarding about my thought process and everything. Okay, yeah. In 2015 I started doing this thing. Okay, like basically what is actually happened in my day, I record all those things in the mobile. Okay, by audio recording things. Okay, yeah. So I am kind of like a decided to start document my life. Okay, regarding about what exactly happened, stuff, my thoughts and everything. Okay. um so this is, I'm actually doing this thing every single day from like a decade. Yeah, like in 11 February 2015 I started this thing. It's been 2025. So yeah, it's been almost like a decade. Okay, I just had a dinner. Okay. um I never really thought that okay, I'm gonna do anything with this thing or not. I'm not really sure. Okay, yeah. Because of I am recording this kind of like a something artifact or kind of like a something a diary. Yeah, like a basically you could assume as a kind of like a something diary that everyone could wrote the diary regarding about what exactly happened. Instead of writing, I'm kind of like a recording this thing. Okay, do you understand the mechanism of artifact? It's not really that kind of like something hard to understand. Yeah. One of the like while I was doing this particular process like a recording artifact, I am like a, I don't know, I understand myself, I know myself. I'm kind of like a something, so many changes is actually happening inside of me. Okay, yeah. Like the way that I'm looking towards the world, what is actually my career, what is actually my thought process, how kind of like some of the things is actually happen, how I kind of like a consume information, execute information, looking at the, I don't know. Okay, yeah. Like basically this thing na ki it somehow improve my thought process and everything. Okay, yeah. As also it gives me purpose of why I have to live this life on the planet and things like that. I just, I don't know. Like let me tell you one thing na, I was really pathetic person, and like if you could kind of like consider as me today as also kind of like a pathetic from visual point of perspective. Pathetic means like I am 31, living with my parents, not earning any money. So you consider as a pathetic. So yeah, you could judge me, and I'm completely that's like I'm kind of like accept that thing. I'm really pathetic person. Yeah. But it just like that ki what is exactly my life went through from this last 10 year, and all those consequences actually happened in my life is kind of like a something wake me up to kind of like a something very bright future. Okay, yeah. Because like basically this thing na ki what is exactly kind of like a something very good life. A good life means like that ki like basically you are went to the job. Okay, you are married like at the age of 31. What should you supposed to expect? Like you have to get a job. Okay, you have a job, you are earning significant amount of money, you have kind of like your apartment, you are married, you have a kids. Okay, yeah. So like basically from visual point of perspective, this is kind of like a something a good life. Okay, yeah. And I have to choose that good life, but I didn't. I like the realization is actually happened because of this thinking what is exactly my purpose and what is exactly I wanted to do in my life. Okay, yeah. So it's it's like so that's why it's kind of like a something kind of like a ignore or kind of like a somebody away that good life and kind of like a choose such a way that I have to face so many problems in my life. Okay, yeah, I have to face such a way so that I would face so many problem in my life. Okay, yeah, and I choose that way. And and I know the path I chose was kind of like a something really wrong, like from every point of perspective it's really wrong. Like basically I wanted to be a filmmaker, and I wanted to be filmmaker, and I don't know how do I supposed to do that, because where I born, my surrounding situation is not really capable enough. I don't really have that much amount of money, as also I don't really have that much amount of confidence to, I don't really have anything, and it's just like that na ki still I wanted to be a filmmaker. Okay, yeah. And I still chose that way because of that ki I try kind of like a some conventional way of living my life, like went to a job and kind of like doing this thing, and I'm really suck at that. So it's just like that na ki I don't know. Yeah, I'm not kind of like a something telling you about what is actually happened and not happened, but what I'm trying to tell you is this thing that ki because of this thing, self talk and artifact episode is documenting kind of like a something during this kind of like a process. I am kind of like a something, so many realization is actually happened inside of me, and I don't know, I get kind of like a something advantages that I don't know how do I supposed to express it. What do you mean by that? Okay, it's a kind of like a something experience. Okay, yeah. Means like that ki like have you ever drive the Lamborghini? Okay, yeah. If you don't really drive the Lamborghini, you might not know how amazing it feel. Okay, yeah. Until you unless drive the Lamborghini. So if you wanted to experience to drive the Lamborghini, you have to drive the Lamborghini. Okay. So this is what kind of like somebody is this thing that key, you have to experience this thing until you realize how good is that. Okay, yeah. Like basically is this thing, if you are watching porn, you will feel little bit of horny, but you will not feel like a that much extreme level when you do the sex on with the real person. Okay, yeah. It's a completely different thing. Okay, yeah. So this is what kind of like I'm gonna tell you is this thing, while I was recording such an artifact, it gives me such advantages that I won't be able to express how much it get. Like it's amazing things. It improve me, upgrade me. I don't know, whatever the word that you wanted to say, it is that. Okay, yeah. So and I thought that ki um what if that I share those method, like share this kind of like a something recording this thing, or like if what if like everyone could do the same thing, means like that ki like if everyone could kind of like somebody started recording the artifact regarding about their life and things and wagara wagara wagara. Okay, so so there are so many problems that we could solve by this thing. What kind of like a some problem? Okay, yeah. A problem means like that ki okay, yeah. There are two kind of problem. Okay, one kind of problem is a kind of like a some problem that we could see, we could solve that problem. Okay, and another kind of problem that we won't be able to see, and that's why we won't be able to solve that problem. What are those example? Okay, yeah. If your car is broken, okay, yeah, like a brake fail, accelerator fail, or whatever it is happened, you could fix that car. Okay, like a, it might be kind of like a something difficult to fix, but at somewhere sometimes I don't know, you could fix that car. Okay, how fucked up that car became, but you could fix that car. But it's just like that na, if kind of like a something, your childhood trauma is actually happened inside of you when you are child, you won't be able to fix it, because like it's kind of like a something that ki example is this thing ki since you are a child, your parents get divorced. Okay, yeah. So when your parents get divorced, you are kind of like going through so many horrible situation because of that ki at some time you have to stay at your father place, sometime you have to stay at mother place, or sometime you have to went to the boarding school and something like that. So basically is this thing, the childhood that you get is a kind of like a something very horrible thing. Okay, it's a kind of like a something childhood trauma na. Okay, yeah. And we won't be able to share those things. Okay, we won't be able to share that particular thing. And as also is this thing, we share, like if we found kind of like a somebody person, we actually share those moment or share those thing with only a significant other. Means like that your girlfriend, boyfriend, wife vagara, husband, wife, we only share with those thing. But right now we are in living in such a world where kind of like a something sharing those moments or sharing this thing is kind of like a something not possible. Yeah, like basically not possible means like that na ki um okay, I'm going to tell you, 50 year ago, or maybe, like, yeah, let's say 50 year ago, yeah, 50 year ago, um people usually talk with each other and communicate with each other, things like that. Okay, yeah. Right now, we are living in such a world where we don't really have any time to talk to each other or listen their whatever they whatever they wanted to talk. Okay, yeah. Like, basically, it's this thing na ki in today's world, it's really really hard to find such a person who could listen our things, our problem and stuff like that, and kind of like a something, yeah. And as also is this thing, that's why if you don't really have any kind of like assembly person to kind of like listen those things, um we won't be able to share our internal trauma, internal things is what exactly happen inside our mind and stuff like that. So we rarely share those moments. Like, let me tell you one thing now. If you are hearing this thing in YouTube platform, okay, yeah, ask this question to yourself honestly: when did you last time you share your kind of like a something so much, like, last time, when did you last time you open up? Okay, yeah. Might be if you have a kind of like a some certain age, from early 20s to late 20s, you have a couple of friends, okay, and you actually open up with those people. Okay, yeah. Because in this particular age range now, you will have a kind of like a friends and your bond is really strong. Okay, yeah. But if you are kind of like a somebody person above 30, then probably what exactly happened that you don't really have any person to share those moments. Yeah, you might have a kind of like a significant other, but probably is this thing na the kind of like a something is this thing, these are kind of like a, I don't know, you might share but sometimes you might not share these things. It's kind of like a something like that na ki very different thing is actually like happened. Like, after the 30, you might not get that kind of like a somebody person that you could kind of like a open up and talk about the things and stuff like that. Okay, yeah. Artifact is doing the filling that particular gap. What exactly is this thing? Okay, yeah. So when I started recording this artifact na ki, when I started recording, is this thing that ki, like, why I started this thing. Okay, yeah. Basically, I still remember that 11th of February 2015. At that time, actually 9th of February 2000, 9th of February 2015, we me and my friend, we went to hill station. Okay, yeah, for a kind of like some trip or somewhere. At that time, I have this mobile phone which has a camera. Okay, 8 megapixel camera. The mobile phone is a Moto G2. Okay, yeah. There is a one good feature in that mobile phone has is that ki while recording video, you could click the photo. Okay, yeah. So what exactly is this thing? Because of my phone was really latest, and I have 8 megapixel of camera, which is at that time is a far more greater. So the picture clarity is really great. Okay, yeah. So everyone is actually taking photos from my camera. Okay, yeah. And I really love to take their photos. Okay, yeah. The problem that I did is that ki while like a while recording, I'm taking the photo. Yeah, like, I'm not taking like a went to the photo and then I click. No, while recording, I there is a button. You just click the button and it take the photo. Okay, yeah. So what exactly happened now? There is a, okay, the photo didn't really get that much quality. Okay, yeah, because this is not the photo. It's a kind of like a some screenshot of that particular video. Okay, so photos didn't really went well. Yeah, like, I took lot of photo, like hundreds of photos and videos and things like that. Okay, it looks really good in the small screen. Okay, yeah, in that particular screen, it look really good. But when you see that in the PC, then it kind of like a some blur and things like that. And most of the photo is actually taken from my phone. Okay, we came back at the at kind of like a 10th of February. Okay, yeah. And at 11th of February, we actually gather all those photos and we decided to see together. Okay, yeah. So at that moment na, the photo was really blurry and things like that, and everyone is kind of like a blaming me regarding about what the fuck you photo took. Like, basically, it's, yeah, it's really fucked up. Okay, yeah. Like, everyone is actually blaming me that ki, like, this is a really fucked up photo that you took. Like, the the blur photo, it's that doesn't really have any resolution. It's, yeah. and I was really devastated because of that. This is the kind of like assembly first time we went to that particular hill station, and everyone is actually taking a photo. I also took the photo, but photo became really blur, and I feel really that ki yaar, like I make a lot of fucked up mistake. Okay, yeah, and I was kind of like a something so much that ki at that time na I also have another problem. Another problem is like that na ki I actually kind of like a something. I'm actually at that time I was actually doing the engineering diploma. Okay, yeah, and engineering diploma I get like a backlog in every subject. Yeah, like only machine design is the only subject that I clear, and rest of the subject went black backlog. Okay, so this is also another tension, and all those my friends are kind of like telling me that hey, you took like a really fucked up photo. I was like a really disappointed. I just feel really that ki really bad, really bad, I don't know. Yeah, and I wanted to just like I don't know, I just wanted to elaborate, like I just wanted to like wanted to tell my point that ki, this is actually happened, this is what actually happened. Like at that time I didn't really mention that ki, I took photo from while recording video. Like I was kind of like a simply just mute and just listen the whatever the things that they say. So I just wanted to say that thing. Okay, then how do I supposed to say, like basically is this thing, I kind of like simply put the mobile phone and started recording video, but I won't be able to record that particular thing. Why? Because it kind of like a simply very awkward to me to talk with myself in this kind of like a video format. So I just kind of like a say that hello, this is my artifact one, this is date and that and that, and that's it. Okay, yeah, I think I might delete that video probably because of the embarrassment, because the video went really bad. So yeah, okay. So what I'm trying to tell you is this thing, at that time I don't really have any girlfriend. So I was like a really fucked up. Yeah, I just wanted to kind of like a somebody share that moment and things like that. Okay, yeah. So this is actually happened with me. So it happened with a multiple people, na? Like basically all those people, like basically all like it actually like it actually happened with the so many people, and they wanted to say so many things regarding about what does actually happen in their life, and they wanted to say this thing. Okay, yeah, but they didn't really get that much opportunity, or they didn't really get that much people around them so that they would listen and say that thing. Okay, yeah. So this is what kind of like some artifact came in. Okay, yeah, like I record my artifact is because of kind of like a simply unleashing the things inside of me and just record that thing, and somewhere I might gonna listen that thing, but right now I just have to record. Okay, yeah. So yeah, like this might be kind of like a something very cool. Okay, like basically I didn't really realize this thing, but last year I realized that ki, what if I make kind of like a some certain app so that it would record the artifact of the people who is actually wanted to kind of like a record, and they just say anything regarding about stuff and stuff and stuff and stuff, and but with the one catch is that ki their privacy is lock or kind of like a something privacy has to be maintained, means like that ki the people could listen the artifact, but they don't know who is that person who's recording this thing. No, it's a kind of like a something that a podcast maybe. Okay, yeah, but in the podcast people are kind of like a communicate with each other, and we know who is that person and that. But in this particular process now, the people who actually talk about the things about this happened, the person who could listen in the kind of like a something in my app, they won't know who is that artifact belongs to. Okay, yeah. Why this thing is because of that ki they would kind of like a share all those things like a without any hesitation. Like if I'm gonna say that ki, my name is this, I am living in this place, and I have this girlfriend and things like that. So basically it kind of like a something, I disturb my privacy, like its privacy violation is actually happened, and it might gonna kind of like a hampered to the people who actually record that thing. Okay, so it is really essential to me, if I build the app, I wanted to make kind of like a some privacy for the people who actually recording this thing. And as also I have to say that ki they shouldn't supposed to be mention their name and things like that. Just say the whatever the things that you have say, and yeah, without kind of like a talking about things. Okay, yeah, like a things about like your name and something like that. Okay, just tell your emotions and everything. Okay, yeah. And yeah, so what if I could build that particular app? Okay, yeah. So last year I was kind of like a thought that, okay, yeah, uh, so um if I wanted to make this particular app, what kind of like a stuff do I need? Okay, yeah. First of all, if I wanted to build the app, I have to be kind of like a simply do the Android Studio. Okay, I download the Android Studio and started doing coding. But it's just like that, na. It's a kind of like a something very new thing for me. Okay, yeah, because I never really done any kind of like a something coding. Okay, yeah, and I kind of like took the help from Chat GPT to kind of like make some certain app, and I make kind of like a little bit, not really that much, but login screen and things like that. I understand that. Okay, yeah, but it's just kind of like a something beginner level of that. Okay, yeah, but the problem is that na ki while I was understanding this thing, it kind of like a something hampered my other things. Other things means like that ki right now I'm doing kind of like a YouTube. Okay, like I'm actually putting the content on YouTube platform. My genre is a graphic designing, and I'm kind of like a create kind of like a something a design where thought provoking design, something like that. Okay, yeah. So during this process I don't really get that much time so that I would learn the kind of like a something Android design, Android developer and things like that. Okay, yeah. So it was like a really fucked up thing. Okay, yeah. So how do I supposed to do that? How do I supposed to do that? So I decided that ki basically is this thing na ki do this thing for at least an year. Okay, yeah. Year means like that ki basically at the moment I just have to upload my artifact on the YouTube platform, the previous artifact, like things that you are actually hearing on the YouTube platform. I already uploaded previous all my artifact. Okay, from decade ago I talk about stuff and stuff I already upload on the YouTube platform. So I decided to upload on the YouTube platform. Why? Is because of that ki at this moment na, if you are actually listening this thing, okay, let me tell you one thing na, you will not gonna listen this artifact unless I get success. Okay, yeah. So if you are listening this artifact, that means I am getting success. Like basically I already built up that app, and that's why you are got influenced by me. So that's why you just wanted to know me. So that's why you are actually listening this artifact. Okay, this is the only reason that you are listening this thing. Other than that, you might not gonna listen that thing, and that is definitely gonna show. Okay, because it's so boring. Literally just like that. Now who does have time to listen my stuff? Okay, that's why I just upload the YouTube. Because of that I definitely know that these artifacts won't be able to listen unless I get success. Okay, yeah. So that's why I just upload the YouTube. Not because of kind of like a something people will try to know, but as also is this thing, the people who wanted to record the artifact, how they should supposed to record the artifact. Okay, there is a kind of like a something proper way. Because let me tell you one thing now, in this particular process you are communicating with yourself. Okay, yeah. And that is a kind of like a something very strange and weird communication. Okay, why? Because in your entire bit of lifetime you actually communicate with the people around you. Okay, yeah. But in this particular process you are not communicating with the people. No, you are just communicating with yourself, and our mobile phone is actually recording the audio, and that's it. Okay, no one is around you and something like that, which is like a really awkward at the first time. Like let me tell you one thing, when I started recording artifact, it was kind of like a something very horrible situation for me. I won't be able to record. It's so awkward. It took me almost like a 3 months to be kind of like a get rid of that awkwardness. Okay, yeah. Right now I'm literally kind of like a something very fluent, but at that time, at the beginning, it was like a too awkward. So the people who wanted to record artifact, they would kind of like a see my artifact on the YouTube platform, and they will kind of like a something little bit understand that how they should supposed to be talk. Okay, yeah, in the artifact. Okay. So yeah, back to the point is that I decided to make the app, but I don't know how do I supposed to do that, because like I don't really have a time, and how do I supposed to learn that thing? Like I was like a really like yeah, like a kind of like a somebody busy and stuff like that. Okay, and I thought that if I went to Pune, like like right now I'm living at Wardha. Okay, yeah, privacy violation, but still, yeah, let's okay. I'm living at my hometown Wardha, and I decided since I started earning some sort of money from this YouTube platform, I have to go to the Pune. Okay, yeah. And first thing is that whatever the money that I will gonna earn from this YouTube, I need to find a kind of like a something like Android developer who build the app for me regarding about those stuff. Okay, yeah. So this is my kind of like a something plan. Okay, yeah. Now the problem is that I'm not really sure when will this gonna happen. What do you mean by that? Okay, yeah, it's actually depend on money, na. Yeah, like a basically this thing. When will I get money? So I went to Pune and then I found kind of like a developer and then I interact with this thing. Then I have to pay that money to the developer for build a app. And do I have that money or not? Or YouTube will kind of like a simply paying me that much amount of money or something like that. So it's kind of like a simply so much kind of like a simply question is actually arise. Okay, yeah, so how do I supposed to do that? And then I realized that ki I can't. Okay, yeah, how do you supposed to consider that ki you are busy right now, so you don't really have a time to make the app? How much you sure that ki within a 2-3 year you will gonna start earning money, so you will have a time to kind of like a build the app? Or maybe you are kind of like a, some people around you to build the app, like a, yeah, it's a lot of thing, na. Like a YouTube, like a being a content creator is also have another hassle in itself. So it's like a really difficult thing. Okay, yeah, so I won't be able to make this app by myself, nothing really at all. I need a kind of like a something person who could kind of like a something not only build but as also, it's just like that, na, ki I wanted to share this idea. Okay, yeah, so I haven't really shared this idea to the anyone. Okay, yeah, but I think that I might found a kind of like a somebody person that could kind of like a somebody help me and understand me. And yeah, and who is that person? My friend named Prashik. Okay, so Prashik and me are we are usually kind of like a somebody friend from since the childhood, like since the second year, like since the second standard he was my friend. But what I'm trying to tell you is this thing that ki I think that ki if I try to talk with a Prashik regarding about not only into the art, not only into direct the app, why? Because of that key at this moment, if I'm gonna share this idea with the people around me, they might not believe that, or they might not think that it's a kind of like a something revolutionary idea. Why? Because they don't really know what is actually the potential of the artifact. I knew it because I experienced it. Okay, I experienced what is actually add value in my life because of this artifact. I know that the gravity of the importance and the gravity of the artifact, how much it like yeah, like a, but other people might not understand the importance of that thing. Okay, yeah. Why? Because they haven't really done that thing. Okay, yeah. So I have to kind of like a talk with my friend named Prashik. Okay, yeah, but I shouldn't supposed to be talk directly. No, I my like basically this thing that ki I'm gonna do kind of like a some experiment on him regarding about indirect way, not so direct way, indirect way. Why indirect way? Okay, let me tell you one thing. Why indirect? Okay, if I'm gonna say this to my friend that ki you should supposed to be start record this artifact thing and it will kind of like add value and stuff like that, definitely 100 out of almost like a 1% he will might definitely not gonna record such a thing. Okay, why? Okay, yeah, because the initial push is like a really required. Okay, what's the initial push? Okay, yeah, so as I mentioned earlier that key in 2015 when I started recording artifact, I went through horrible moment. Okay, yeah, like basically I was kind of like a somebody devastating with all my friends. And at that time na, I was kind of like a somebody very like a very very kind of like a somebody a person who is kind of like a hurt by the very small thing. Okay, yeah, so that's why, yeah, at that time it didn't really matter me that much, but at that time it affected me a lot. Like if someone kind of like a says some certain thing na, I was kind of like a feel little bit of sad, the sadness stuff. Okay, yeah, so basically what is actually happened na, in 2015 I went through like a really horrible state. Okay, like a friend is actually saying me this thing, I kind of like a fail in so many subject. So it was kind of like a something very kind of like a something very fucked up thing is actually happened. And I wanted to share that thing. That is a kind of like a something initial push that I get on that period of time. Okay, yeah, and that initial push is kind of like a something helping me to record artifact every single day. By the way, like it's not the only reason. Basically let me tell you one thing now ki I like it was kind of like a somebody inspiration. Okay, like I didn't really have get this idea from just kind of like a somebody from the air. No, I was actually inspired by thing. What is actually inspired? Okay, yeah, so I watched the movie named Avatar. Okay, the first movie named Avatar. in that movie, like basically is this thing, the people who like I'm gonna tell you a short story regarding about that particular movie. So the humans are kind of like a developed so much so that they went to the another planet to started living the. Okay, yeah. So they found a kind of like a some planet called Pandora, and the problem is that now when you went to that particular planet, now you are started kind of like a simply losing your mind. Okay, you started forgetting everything regarding about what exactly happened in your life and stuff like that. Okay, yeah. If you went to that particular planet because of the atmosphere and stuff like that. Okay, yeah. So what does they do is that ki, if they don't want to forget like literally they will forget their entire name. Okay, yeah. So it is really essential to be they it is really essential to be remember that ki what is actually happened in throughout the day and past and everything. So they actually recording the log file. Okay, yeah. Like basically in that particular movie they actually record the log. Okay, yeah. Like basically today they say that ki today's day and this is my log number 463, today's date is this and that and this is what actually happened. Okay, yeah. So they actually kind of like a something create this log. Okay, yeah. Like basically sit in front of my desk and camera and just started talking about things happened. Okay, yeah. I was like a really inspired by this method. Okay, yeah, like a recording kind of like a something like a document entire life and stuff like that. I was literally inspired by this thing, and I decided to record such a thing at the 1st of January 2015. Like I decided that this is my kind of like a something resolution, like a that I have to kind of like a record this kind of like a something a log format thing. Okay, like a talk about my life and stuff like that. But it didn't really happen at 1st of January because of that ki I didn't really went that much emotional trauma at that time, because I was kind of like somebody enjoying that period of time because 31st December and we had a party. I don't know. So I haven't really recorded that thing. Okay, yeah. The emotional trauma is actually happened at the 11th of February 2015, and that's why I started recording this kind of like a something artifact. Okay, yeah. So what I'm trying to tell you is this thing that ki I wanted to do those things. It's kind of like a something my resolution, and the emotional trauma. Those are kind of like a something two factor are kind of like a something um kind of like a something helping me to start doing this artifact. Okay, yeah. It gives me kind of like a some initial push, and I have to record this thing every single day. So that's why it kind of like a something impact me a lot regarding about that stuff. Okay, yeah. So initial push is really important. Okay, yeah. So how do I supposed to create that initial push to my friend named Prashik? No, it won't. Okay, yeah. Like basically, if I say this thing, ki this will happen, this will happen, this will happen, he won't be able to understand the gravity of the artifact because he didn't really experience this thing, and he didn't like. I'm not gonna give any kind of like some emotional trauma so that he would start doing this thing. No, nothing really at all. So in direct way, I shouldn't supposed to be start doing this thing. Okay, yeah. So I have only one way to execute this thing is indirect way. Okay, what's the indirect way? I shouldn't supposed to be tell him regarding about why I started recording this thing and stuff like that. No, I have to talk with him. Okay, like as a kind of like a somebody person, so that like what exactly is this thing na ki why I started recording this artifact is because of that ki I need a kind of like a some sort of companion so that I would tell him that regarding about this actually happened. Okay, yeah. I didn't really get that much companion so that I would started recording this thing in a audio format in the mobile phone. Okay, yeah. But with my friend Prashik, I shouldn't supposed to be used a direct way. I should supposed to be used indirect way. Indirect way means like that ki I have to be that companion. Okay, means like that ki I have to ask this question. Like today I ask him question regarding about that ki what is actually 5 movie that you recommend. Okay, and he was actually talking about this, that he was say that ki like a road multiple movies like Three Idiots, Drishyam, then couple of Bollywood movie and couple of Pursuit of Happiness. Okay, these are kind of like some movie he recommend. Okay, yeah. Then I started talking about that ki then I ask another question that ki what is exactly the good things that you do for the people. Okay, yeah, like what is actually one good thing that you do for the people. And he was started talking about that ki he did lot of stuff with his for his sister, like basically this thing when her sister is actually went through a lot of emotional problem and things like that, he actually helped him regarding about her marriage and things like that. He also helped his Bhauji and something like that. So he did a lot of good stuff. Okay, yeah, he also mentioned that ki, like basically he when he was actually doing his job, and he didn't like, kind of like a prioritize in itself, like, but it just like that ki, when other people might need some sort of money, he is actually willing to help. So basically he did a lot of good stuff. Okay, yeah, and when he was started talking, he won't able to stop. Yeah, like this is kind of like a simply very another thing that I experienced today. Because of that, na, ki when I record artifact, na, I was kind of like a on point, like a, what should I supposed to say, and I'm say that thing. Okay, yeah, like what is actually question? If I'm gonna say what is actually good things that you do for the people, I might gonna say that ki I did this, I did that, I did that. Okay, yeah, but Prashik is kind of like a somebody talking about this, he did that, he did that, he did that, like basically he won't stop. Okay, yeah, and basically question was different, and he was actually talking about the career life, and then what is actually happened with his, he went through kind of like a serious health stuff and something like that. So I realized that people are so wanted to talk, like so wanted to talk, like literally just like that na ki, if I became the best companion and if I started listening this thing na, people are started talking, and I was like that dude, like basically these are kind of like a stuff that I won't be able to talk in artifact, but he was kind of like a talking, and that is the way I realized that ki I just have to do it indirect way. Means like that, first of all, I shouldn't supposed to tell him regarding about record the artifact. No, I have to talk to him. Okay, regarding about, I have to ask bunch of questions. Like basically I ask like a personal question, scientific question, and like a casual question. The casual question is that he recommend the 5 movies. Okay, he talk about stuff. Then scientific movie, like in scientific question, I talk about that ki why the planets and stars are in circle or sphere. Okay, why are those, like why not triangle, why not rectangle, why not that. Okay, yeah, and as also personal question. Okay, yeah, I understand that he was kind of like a rate of interest. Okay, like how much he put the interest while putting the answer. Okay, so it was like a really low interest while talking about scientific questions, like basically why the stars and planet are get like a circle or sphere, like why he was have very little interest. And as also the answer that he mentioned was completely wrong, and it's not completely wrong, but it's something very different. Okay, yeah. Then regarding about the casual question is that ki recommend 5 movie, he was kind of like a talking about this movie, but interest rate was kind of like a something 10 out of maybe 6. Okay, because he was not that person I used to talk about movies and stuff like that. Okay, yeah, then I asked personal question regarding about that ki what is actually the good thing that you do for the people. And then he start talking, means interest rate is almost like a 10 out of 10, and he was talking about this and that and that. Like I realized that kid, dude. Okay, yeah, there are a couple of difference, like basically which question that you ask and how much they have kind of like assembly rate of interest, like how much they put the interest. Okay, yeah. So what would I supposed to do? Okay, yeah. So I shouldn't supposed to be went to direct way. No, I have to do it kind of like some indirect way. Means like that na, for almost like a month, I'm gonna ask him regarding about this question, a personal question. Okay, personal casual. Personal means like that, like regarding about the yeah, everything, like I'm gonna ask. Okay, yeah. So I just wanted to understand this thing, what is actually his thought process, and will he able to kind of like record that thing or not. And I just wanted to hook up, like I just wanted to make it that key, like he's really enjoying while telling that stuff. Okay, yeah. So I will gonna ask bunch of personal question, and he will gonna definitely gonna enjoy while giving the answer. And after like a 15 or 20 days, okay, after a couple of weeks, I will gonna say this thing ki, like if you are love this recording things, if you love this kind of like somebody talking this, why don't you start recording yourself, like record your audio, like record the, like push the record button and kind of like started recording this thing. And I will gonna give kind of like a somebody 50 personal question that you have to give the answer in this recording. Okay, yeah. So if he'll gonna start, then he might gonna understand the gravity of the artifact. Okay, because yeah. And then I will tell my idea regarding about that, if we have to build this app, particular app, then how much it kind of like something helpful for the people and something like that. Okay, yeah. So this is my way. Okay, yeah. So like basically it's just in a, if kind of like a something I convince my friend Prashik regarding about building this app. It will gonna really help me a lot. Okay, yeah. Because let me tell you one thing, na, ki I'm not really sure. Okay, yeah, I'm not really sure how much it will kind of like simply putting me kind of like something important. I'm not really sure. I think na ki I have to be convinced Prashik first, and maybe he will kind of like something really help me a lot regarding about building app and something like that. Okay, yeah. So yeah, I'm not really sure, but I will gonna try. Okay, yeah. So this is it. This is it. I should supposed to be end here. Okay, yeah. I didn't really ask question today, but it's really essential to talk today regarding about stuff. So yeah, this is it. Thank you.